Good morning, traders. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my live trading session. So we started out this morning in the overnight session with an uptrend with a break and a new extreme. Eventually led into this reversal here, this downtrend here. Then we also had another uptrend here that's working higher with a break and a new extreme. But you can see this resistance was starting to form itself. We had a push lower with a break and a new low. And then we pushed above the EMA at this point. So at this point here, we had somewhat of a bullish imbalance. Um, so this was definitely, the structure is range, but it's definitely apparent that there was a bullish imbalance here. But then the uptrend played out with a break and a new high, and we pushed back below the EMA here. So it would have been nice to get some failed second entry long in this area, but you can see prices just slice lower below the EMA, and we have this downtrend working lower. So now we know this downtrend here is definitely confirming this range structure. And at this point, I'm going to be considering some second entry short at the EMA. Downtrend needs a new low. Range structure is the pattern. Most likely prices want to come and test this support level. So I'm considering some second entry short at the EMA. So we'll let prices print and see if we can get something at the EMA here. Okay, traders, I'm resuming the video here. So this downtrend actually got quite strong inside this range here. We had a nice push lower here, but you can see we have a small overshoot here. So this is oversold territory here. So whenever we have an overshoot, we can expect a stronger correction. So at this point, we can see this nice first leg up of this bullish correction. So I'm thinking about some break, new extreme of this bullish correction and some failed second entry long below the EMA because this downtrend still needs a new low, but there can be some stronger correction given that there's this overshoot. So I'm gonna let prices print. Ideally, I like to see some break in a new high and some failed second entry long below the EMA. But let's let prices print and see. Let's see what happens here next. Okay, traders, I'm resuming the video here because you can see that this downtrend had the break and the new extreme. This overshoot didn't have the stronger correction like it typically does. But this could happen in price action. Maybe this overshoot wasn't as strong as we anticipated, but we have to play with overshoot since it was technically oversold territory. You had this downtrend working lower with the break and the new extreme. Had there been some second entry short that formed here at the EMA, we would have to skip due to this overshoot. You had the first entry short, but there was no tick higher here to get the second entry short. But even if there was, we would have to skip. We would need some confirmation set up to sell after this overshoot. But you can see how nice the price action worked. You had the leg working down lower, break, new extreme. So at this point, we tested this support here like we expected. So in order for me to go long, I would need to see some push above the EMA, some failed second entry short reversal pattern, or more so this is just an area of development at this time. We want to see what prices are going to do next. Is this support in fact going to hold? We're going to push back into this trading range because range is the structure, so that's most likely. Or are we going to push out of this trading range and create some wider downtrend? So let's just let prices print and see what the next market cycle is going to be at this point. Okay, traders, I'm resuming the video here. So we had the break in the new extreme of the downtrend. So support actually ended up holding here. And we had a first entry short pullback, second entry short failure. But we needed to see this failed second entry short above the EMA. But if you reset the count here, you have another first entry short pullback, second entry failure. This is a great failed second entry short to take off of the support, closed above the EMA. Great setup. I tried to take this setup, but it just instantly rocketed higher. My limit didn't get filled. But now we have this uptrend in play. So I'm starting to consider some second entry long at the EMA because we're coming off of the support. We're in this uptrend, so it's most likely we're gonna continue working higher. So I'm thinking about some second entry long at the EMA. It'd actually be off of this trend line and off the EMA, two key entry points. So it'd be a nice setup. So let's see what happens here. We'll let prices print and see if we can get some second entry long at the EMA here. Okay, traders, I'm resuming the video here. So after the failed second entry short pushed up, we had this uptrend working higher with a break and a new extreme. It looked like a two-legged pullback here. It's perfect, almost perfect measured move. So this was an important area to see what was going to happen next. If we were going to push higher, I was going to consider drawing some wider uptrend. Or were we going to push lower and the bearish imbalance is going to kick in? Or was it going to be like it is here? Some sideways action. So I went ahead and drew this support here, resistance here. So we had some sideways small trading range inside of the main trading range. So then we have option higher with the break and a new extreme. And you can see once again, it resembles that two-legged pullback. You have the first leg up here, second leg up here. So this is a failed breakout outside of this small trading range. So when prices push back lower, when we pushed below the EMA here, I was considering some lower high, which would have been at two key entry points, the EMA and this resistance outside of this trading range. The lower high would have confirmed this failed breakout. But you can see prices just push lower here. So I was considering some second entry short here at the EMA because this downtrend needed a new extreme. But you can see prices had a small break here and then just pushed straight lower to the new low. So now we have break and new low, downtrend played out, and I'm looking to see what's going to happen next. It looks like we're pushing back into this small trading range. So bulls may take over at this point. We can draw some uptrend working higher here. Bulls may take over at this point. So we can consider some failed second entry short, reversal pattern. But you can see just looking at structure as a whole, there's some small bearish imbalance because bulls couldn't push. It looks like they got held at the midline. They couldn't push up. So there is some small bearish imbalance in here. But if we get some failed second entry short here, I would consider going long. Looks like support is still holding and we're back inside this trading range here. So we'll let prices print and we'll see what the next market cycle is or what prices are going to do next. Okay, traders, I just got back from our break here, and we had a downtrend working lower with the break and a new extreme here. And you can see we're hovering over this support level for quite some time. But then here we had a first entry short pullback, second entry short failure, which would be decent. Problem is that this failed second entry short formed below the higher low. And I typically don't like to see it form below the higher low. I like to see it form above the higher low. So the fact that it broke lower here is problemsome for me. But then we actually had like a mini second entry long here, but unfortunately it just formed way too high up. And it was getting quite sideways at this point. So we'd really like to see some established trend, and that is exactly what we're getting right now. It looks like we have a nice seamless leg up. After we got this push up here, it confirmed this uptrend for us. So at this point, we're trading some bullish channel, and of course, it makes sense to what's going on in the market. We have a trading range market structure here. You can see leg up, leg down. There was some bearish imbalance here in the middle, push lower, but now the bulls are taking back over after this support held. So we got this uptrend working higher. So at this point, I'm thinking that we potentially could be trying to test this resistance level. So it looks like there's going to be some bullish trend working higher to get to that point. So I'm considering some second entry long at the EMA because at that point we would break this channel and potentially get us a second entry long to get the new extreme of this channel. So we'll let price action play out. Let's see what we get. But at this point, I'm looking for some second entry long at the EMA to get the new high of this uptrend. So I'll let prices print here and then I'll resume this video if we do in fact get some second entry long, or we'll see what happens next here. Okay, traders, I'm resuming the video here. So originally I had the uptrend drawn like this, and I was considering some bullish reversal to test this resistance level, but you can see this is very telling from what happened here and made me shift into drawing this uptrend to adapting to this short-term uptrend with a break and a new high, and then this resistance from the range ended up holding. When this second entry long ended up failing, which we were considering a second entry long, but this bar here is just not strong enough, and then there was also a chance to draw a wider downtrend, something like this. So I had to skip this second entry long, but then when this bearish bar formed and pushed strongly below the EMA, it was quite clear that the structure had changed. It was no longer a bullish channel working higher. Instead, it was a break and a new extreme for this channel, and then this small range here kicked in. So now I'm going to go ahead and draw my downtrend a little bit wider like this, and I'm starting to consider some second entry short at the EMA here. We have an uptrend, something like this, working higher. So I'm starting to think about some second entry short at the EMA here, which would be at two key entry points, the downtrend and at the EMA. So let's see if we can get some second entry short at the EMA at this point. Okay, traders, I'm resuming the video here. So I actually ended up going back to this wider uptrend here. Remember originally I had the uptrend here with a break and a new high, and then a wider downtrend here. But after we pushed back above the EMA here, it was clear that this uptrend was in fact in play and the bulls were going to want to see a new high retest. So I went ahead and drew this wider uptrend back. I played with the downtrend break and new extreme. And I was considering some mini second entry long here, but unfortunately the first entry just pushed straight to the new high. So at this point, this is an area of development for me. I need to see more price action in order to see what's the next market structure. Are we going to pull back into this range, or we can continue working higher and test this resistance here? So at this point, I'm just waiting. I'm sitting on my hands, letting price action print and seeing what the next market structure is. So I'll resume the video back when we get a little bit more price action. Okay, traders, so uptrend played out with a break and a new extreme. And when we were pushing below here, I was thinking about some failed second entry long, as this trading range was now the pattern. So I was looking for, if we reset the count here, you have a first entry long pullback, second entry long failure, which is what we were looking for. Problem is that we're above the EMA here. I needed to see this failed second entry long below the EMA here. And then we had a follow-up lower high, but unfortunately on my chart it formed as a bullish bar first, and then the bar entry was just quite weak. But I hope this makes sense of what's happening. You have a uptrend with a break and a new extreme. Trading range was the pattern, so this is a failed breakout out of this trading range. We expect prices to pull back into this range, which is why we were considering the failed second entry long to push back into the range. But now we have some downtrend working lower here. So I'm thinking about some second entry short at the EMA. It is getting quite late, so hopefully it forms a little bit quick. But I'd like to see some second entry short at the EMA to take advantage of, for one, this downtrend needing a new low and prices continuing working lower here in this range. So I'll let prices print and see if we can get some second entry short here at the EMA. Okay, traders, I took this second entry short here. We have a first entry short pullback, second entry short. Let's see if we can get the scalp here. Just need a couple more ticks. Downtrend needs a new low. We're playing off these range highs. Let's see if we can get a quick scalp here. It is getting kind of late. I went back to 8 ticks because it's already getting quite late. So let's see if we can just get a little quick scalp here. This is a good learning lesson, guys, because could get a little bit nervous that it's pulling back on us. But that's okay. It's either going to work or it's not going to work. If it goes out and stops us out, no worries. It fit our rules. We're going to take it according to our rules. And if it comes back and fills our target, great. But this is a great learning lesson to just let prices print. Let them do what they want. No trade is guaranteed. We don't know if it's going to work for sure, if it's not going to work for sure. So yeah, just play it both ways. If it hits our stop, cool, we'll go on to the next one. If it fills our target, great, we'll go on to the next one. Let's see what happens here.
Target filled.
And we're gonna go ahead and put our stop to break even. Perfect price action. Filled our target. So let's see if we can go down and create a new extreme, maybe get some decent little runner here. But perfect price action here. So we had this uptrend that played out with a break and a new high. Downtrend needed a new extreme. Second entry short right at the EMA. Go ahead and mark that here. Downtrend. This was a second entry short. Can't really fit it here, but basically uptrend played out the break in a new high. Second entry short, downtrend needed a new low.
Stop filled.
Run just got hit, so unfortunately we didn't get the runner on this one, but no worries, the scalp was made. So perfect price action here, guys. So I'll let prices print and I'll resume the video if we end up creating a new low or what happens next. But great price action here, perfect second entry short. Okay, traders, the market just closed and prices did exactly what we expected. They pushed lower and created the new extreme for this downtrend. And now market closed. So we'll go back and we'll just kind of summarize this day here. We had an uptrend to start the day with a break and a new high, a downtrend working lower, and then we had another uptrend with a break and a new high, and then downtrend with a break and a new low, another uptrend with a break and a new high. Just a lot of up and down price action here. Break and a new high here. And then this was very important. When we got this push strong, like this strong push lower, it was very evident that this resistance was coming into play, and now the trading range was now our pattern. So we're looking for the failed second entry long here, but we didn't get it, unfortunately. But we pushed lower and had a nice move lower. We had an overshoot, so we had to skip the first second entry short, but you can see prices just continued working lower and creating the new low. Now we had somewhat of a failed breakout here out of this trading range, and this trading range was our pattern. We had a first entry short, second entry short failure here, but it was below the EMA, and it didn't form clean on our chart. But then if we reset the count again, we have another first entry short, second entry short failure here, which is a great high probability setup. I tried to take this setup, but it instantly shot higher and didn't fill my limit. But this is a great failed second entry short off of this support, failed second entry short back into the range. We had an uptrend working higher with a break and a new extreme. After breaking to extreme, it's kind of an area of development to see what the next market cycle is going to be. But you can see we eventually led into this small trading range here. We had an uptrend with a break and a new high, downtrend with a break and a new low. And then this downtrend actually ended up being a little bit wider, something like this. And then we had another break and a new extreme of that downtrend. Excuse me. So then this was another like a choppy area, an area of development just to see what was going to happen next. It ended up being the support was going to hold in a failed breakout, but we're just being patient in this area, waiting for prices to print to see what the next market cycle is going to be, if we're going to continue working lower, or if we were in fact going to pull back into this trading range. And sure enough, you saw me when I was trading this live. I had this uptrend drawn originally, but then when prices broke below the EMA like this, I actually adapted to a short-term trend, something like this. And I was playing it as the break in a new high because it seemed as if the resistance was kicking in and prices were going to pull back lower since the trading range was the structure. But you can see once we got back above the EMA, this was very important because it gave us the signal, okay, the wider uptrend is the pattern. It's actually going to be a break in a new extreme for the downtrend, and the uptrend is going to want to see a new extreme now. So trading is all about adapting. You don't have to be perfect on the in the very beginning. You can always adapt in hindsight after what price action has presented itself, after it's shown its cards. And that's exactly what happened here. When it got above the EMA, then we went back, adapted to the uptrend, downtrend break, new low. And we're considering some second entry long here, but unfortunately they didn't form, and we created the new high for the uptrend. Then towards the end of the day, we had this downtrend working lower, failed breakout outside of this trading range here, downtrend working lower, a nice second entry short at the EMA, which you guys saw me take live. Second entry short pushed prices lower and created the new low for the downtrend, and now we're just working a little sideways here. But yeah, guys, great trading day today. If you guys, if you found this video helpful for you guys, please feel free to hit the like button below. If you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. I actually have a trading community where I post charts daily in real time, and I'm here to answer any questions you guys may have in real time. If that's of any interest to you guys, feel free to check it out in the link in the description below. But other than that, I hope you guys had a good trading day, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.